Good morning, Las Vegas, and welcome to A Healthier Tomorrow. I'm Will Rucker.
And I'm Ciara Owens.
And we are so excited that you've joined us for today's program. This is such a special time of the year. We are truly in fall now.
Yes. Were you woken up by that thunder this morning, or were you already up?
I was up.
I'm sure you were.
But I did enjoy seeing the lightning.
Yes, it was a show for sure.
Yes. But the crisp air that just kind of cuts through under your sweater, it's a beautiful time.
It is. Flipping the closets, pulling out new clothes, feeling like you're shopping all over again. And
we're not going to talk about that.
Oh,
because I actually do shop all over again.
I'm sure you do. Once again, the style and the swag of Mr. Will Rucker. If you have not seen this man, he is fly, baby, super fly.
But I do love it. And then, so this we'll talk about this in a bit. But I enjoy when they switch to the Christmas drinks.
Yes.
At the cafes, because I love a good peppermint mocha.
Oh, yes. I like to enjoy anything with some rum chata, getting the nice cinnamon flavors, all that good stuff. But a peppermint mocha, I might have to try one. I don't drink much coffee.
Absolutely try it. Absolutely try it. And something else happens this time of year. It gets a little spooky.
Oh, yes. Halloween is next week. Can you believe that we're coming up on the end of October?
No, I absolutely cannot.
Where did time go, Will? Where's time going?
It's just flying by, and we're just along for the ride, I guess.
What are you being for Halloween?
I've been thinking about it. So I really want to go all in this year.
Okay.
Because, Christmas has traditionally been my thing, but in my neighborhood, Halloween is all the rage. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to do a very, very couture vampire.
Okay, make sure you drop a picture and make sure I see, okay, because I need to see a couture vampire.
I've always enjoyed the vampire kind of look, so we're gonna do it up this year. But also, I'm actually gonna be home for the first time on Halloween, and I'll be able to give out candy to the kids this year.
Yes, because the kids don't really come around here as much anymore, which might be a safety thing, which we're gonna talk to soon. But when it comes down to the trick or treats, I buy candy in my condos and no one knocks on the door. Then I did it like at my mom's house and my dad's house, and very
come
few
to mine,
people.
because every year they come, and
they
I just feel they do. Like my neighborhood, it's kids come from other neighborhoods to Halloween shop, whatever you call it.
Oh yeah, y'all that neighborhood. I remember those neighborhoods with the kids. So they're giving away the big candy bars and the good chocolates bars, and everything else.
Absolutely. And our neighbors just decorate. It becomes an entire, like the Michael Jackson Thriller video. It's a spectacle.
Oh, I might have to ride by and see. Does it start early, or is it strictly on Halloween?
The decorations are up. You can come now and see them. It's amazing. But yeah, which is really cool, because it does provide a sense of community and safety.
Yes.
Which is so important today, because unfortunately, too many kids land in the ER because of Halloween.
Oh, it's a dangerous time out there. It's dark. People are driving, and the grown-ups that are not taking the kids trick-or-treating are enjoying Halloween on their own.
Yeah.
With some treats that may make it unsafe to drive.
Yeah. So with that, I want to welcome our amazing guest. We've got a first-timer on the show, a pediatric surgeon who we've been able to chat with a bit, has lived in some really incredible places. But we've got Dr. Erik Pearson with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Absolutely. So before we dive into the topic, we'd love to learn just a little bit more about you. Share with our audience who you are, what you do, and why you're here today.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a pediatric surgeon. I've been in Las Vegas since 2017. Actually, the big introduction, my introduction to Las Vegas was being part of 1 October down at Sunrise Hospital as a surgeon down there. So that was quite a dramatic introduction to the city, but really brought me in to the community, and felt immediately welcomed and a part of it here. Came here from Atlanta, did my pediatric surgery training at Emory University, and then before that was in Salt Lake City for general surgery, and have been taking care of kids for just about the last 10 years, and it's such a meaningful job, and I love what I do, and I'm excited to be here today to talk about it.
Amazing. Well, thank you for being here. And Emory has a very special place in my heart because they have a cognitively based compassion training program. And an offshoot of that infuses compassion in healthcare to build resiliency. So I really love Emory, and that's just an added bonus in the column of all the amazing things that you do.
Absolutely. I mean, compassion in medicine, it's what draws us in, and that's what makes us effective physicians and effective caregivers is compassion for our patients and wanting them to be safe and healthy. So I'm really happy and proud to hear that Emory has a program like that. Wish I would have had the opportunity to take it.
So we absolutely love the compassion and centering the human in all of our work. We're talking about Halloween. And Dr. Erik, what does that have to do with pediatric surgery?
Well, Halloween is, it's one of the most important, one of the most exciting nights of the year for kids. Right now kids are probably getting their pillowcases ready, deciding how much candy they're going to fill it with. But unfortunately, it's also one of the most dangerous nights of the year for kids. And you mentioned automobile accidents, and it's not just that, but there's injuries to children on Halloween are twice as common, and in some age groups, like 4 to 8 year olds, 10 times as common as any other night of the year.
Wow.
And so we can talk about what some of those injuries are and what type of decisions we can make to limit those injuries and keep it a fun and exciting night out of the ER, just out there collecting candy and having some laughs, and that's what we want.
All right, you got us drawn in. Go tell us some of these injuries.
Well, the first one I'd say is, you might not think of it, but actually over half of injuries associated with Halloween are from pumpkin carving.
Really?
And right now we're out there, we're getting our pumpkins, we're starting to think about those designs, and we're asking ourselves, okay, what kind of crazy design am I going to put in front of the house? But this is really the beginning of Halloween injuries. And so what do those injuries look like? Unfortunately, that's where kids that are too young to be using knives are using them unsupervised. And one thing I want to say to parents out there is put the kitchen knives away. We shouldn't be using kitchen knives to carve pumpkins. I'd go out there, get yourself one of those commercial pumpkin carving kits. They're short instruments. They're serrated, should not cause terrible injuries, especially when kids are being supervised. And kids under the age of 8 really shouldn't be using sharp objects at all. They should be drawing on the pumpkins, helping get the seeds out. Leave the carving to supervised kids, 8 to 12 years old. And then, of course, older kids, they need to be supervised as well, but they can be a little bit more independent.
Those are amazing recommendations and just things to keep top of mind. I remember when I was younger doing the pumpkin carving, tons of fun. And now that I'm out here in Las Vegas, going up to Gilcrease Orchard and picking a pumpkin. But there are so many ways to decorate beyond having to actually carve into it. So when I was younger, I would actually color the pumpkin.
Absolutely.
Instead of having those knives, and so that was definitely a safer approach. I'm curious as far as the other types of injuries besides kind of like the laceration, right?
Sure.
What else are you seeing that time of year?
Well, the other one that we just talked about is auto pedestrian accidents. Okay, so kids are twice as likely to be hit and killed by a car on Halloween. And so we have to think about why that is happening. And it has to do with two things. One is kids are running about. Kids can be unpredictable. They're wearing dark costumes. Often they can have capes that they can trip over or masks that they can't see through. So I want to direct some tips to think about the kids and the costumes. And that is, number one, go for face paint rather than a mask, so your eyes aren't obstructed and you can see the curb and you can see the crosswalk and you can see coming cars. Number two is put some reflective tape or carry a flashlight or wear a glow stick. Somehow make that a part of your costume so that you can be seen by cars or e-bikes or bikes that are flying by, okay? And then the other part is Superman doesn't need to trip over his cape. So, make those capes short, hem those long pants up, and throw on sneakers so kids aren't tripping and getting themselves into trouble.
So what I just heard you say is that we should do more sequence.
Absolutely. I think sequins and strobe lights would be the way to go.
Bring disco back.
Right.
Absolutely.
We need you glowing. See you a mile away, y'all. Make it a part of the costume, the outfit.
Yeah, and the other part of that is the driver. So most of these injuries, most kids who get hit by automobiles, it's happening between 5:30 and 9:30 p.m. Okay, so it's just getting dark. And if you're a driver, I want you to slow down on this Halloween. We should really be paying attention all the time, but on Halloween, you need to slow down in your neighborhood. Don't be using your device. Don't be distracted. Don't be eating that candy that you might have picked up at work on the way home. Put all that down and be a very focused driver. So not only are we protecting our kids and are we making them safe as they go about and having one of the most joyous nights that they've looked forward to all year, but you're going to feel good that you're not going to injure a child. And I think that's really important.
What are some of your biggest concerns as a pediatric surgeon outside of just like the injuries from Halloween? Like and I don't want to say the worst because sometimes scare tactics are important though. What are some of the worst things that you've seen?
Well, I would say number one thing that we don't often think about are fires and burns. Now, more common now, we're using LED lights and pumpkins, and I would strongly encourage people to use LED lights and pumpkins rather than candles because many Halloween costumes are extremely flammable. And
that sequence.
Exactly. I mean, we want fire retardant sequins if you can find them. But, not to make light of that, but it is really important to think about, is it possible that you can have material for the costume that is not flammable? Because that's one injury that I think is really severe and very, very common on Halloween. And then I would say the other thing are, choking hazards and allergies. So often as a pediatric surgeon, I am at least every week, I am tasked with removing some foreign object from a child's esophagus. Often it's coins, but toys like magnets can be extremely dangerous. We refer to magnets as slow-moving missiles in the abdomen because if you swallow two magnets, they're going to find each other, and that can cause devastating injuries. And then lastly, anytime I have an opportunity to make a public service announcement, I'm going to say that flat batteries are one of the most dangerous items in the house. And if a child swallows a flat battery, that can get stuck in the esophagus and be life-threatening. And so anybody that has flat batteries for your car keys, keychain, any other instrument in the house that needs them, you want to lock those batteries up and keep them out of the reach of children.
You are listening to A Healthier Tomorrow right here on the People Station, Power 88. If you haven't already, tell someone to tune in. This is important information. Even if you're not a parent, you know a kid or you know someone that knows a kid. So let everybody you know what's happening on the air right now and tell them to tune in. So one more question for you here. How did you get started in pediatrics? What called you to that particular group?
I can remember like it was yesterday. I was a general surgery resident up in Salt Lake City, and I rotated on the pediatric surgery service. And in one day, I watched the pediatric surgeons care for babies with complex congenital problems, reconstructing an esophagus or reconstructing a rectum, taking care of kids that were victims of trauma, taking care of just taking the appendix out. But they had the responsibility of caring for a child, and in many cases, that was the first time that child was away from their parents. And so I saw that, and it hit me very deeply as I thought that's the greatest responsibility somebody can have, is taking care of somebody's child. And I wanted the skill set and the knowledge to do that for my life. And so that was the initial inspiration, and then that's what I've been doing since.
Oh.
That is so inspiring, like the way you're able to work with kids from so many different levels and so many different aspects of the work. What is one thing that you feel parents and new parents that are coming up should know as they approach like the safety of their child?
You know, it's a really good question, because I think we balance that as parents. I'm a parent of 3, 12, and 8 years old, and so I'm kind of going through the tween years now. But as an early parent, we balance being overprotective with giving them space. And I think we certainly want to be thoughtful about the environment that we create for our child in the house, and then that's a safe environment where they're not going to get themselves into trouble. And that can be choking hazards, sharp things, putting fingers or an instrument in a light socket. So we want to make sure our house is safe for those new parents I know you're expecting. And I think as the child gets older, you know, it's really being supportive and letting them go out there, and it's okay to fall down and you know, get a few bruises and get back up again. But I think, you know, if we just focus on allowing them to experience their environment by keeping it safe through a thoughtful process, that's what I'd recommend. You can't be too much of a helicopter parent. You got to let them get out there and experience it. But I think we can create safeguards for kids so they can do it in a safe way.
I appreciate you sharing that, because you've seen the most probably traumatizing incidents with kids, and I will probably be that helicopter parent.
That's right.
We're not claiming that already, Will.
Because I'm overprotective of my dog. So, you know, with a kid, it is something I think a lot about, because if I can prevent the injury, if I can keep them healthy, if I can keep them safe, then that's all that I want to accomplish, really. But I do recognize there's the other side of that, with the emotional development and the autonomy and self-sufficiency that they have to develop. As a pediatric surgeon, how do you balance kind of that emotional weight of those moments where a parent has experienced something that's devastating, and you want to give them confidence to be like, well, we did fix the problem, and you can move forward, and here's what you need to do?
It's a good question. I think that is one of the real challenges when you're training to be a pediatric surgeon, is really understanding what that responsibility is. And when I talk to parents, what I want to convey is, I know that you're really worried, and I know that this is really scary. And if it wasn't scary, then that would be abnormal. All right. So even if it's something simple, like appendicitis, for that patient, that might be the first time their child's been sick. So empathizing with that experience, and then reassuring the family that not only do I have the skill set to solve that child's problem, but the whole team of people I work with here is dedicated, experienced, and has the knowledge and skills to help them. And we have a whole team of people that is there to help. And I think that's part of it, is realizing as a pediatric surgeon that I am one part of a whole team. And I think when I convey that to families, it gives them a lot more confidence that their child's in good hands.
Dr. Erik, with all of this work, and you know you're supporting the parents through their emotions, you're supporting the child at times, what do you do to refill your cup or decompress after leaving some situations? On the small and the big end. My apologies. I want like in between patients, and then when you were done for the day.
Yeah, so on a usual day, between cases, I walk. And so just 2 days ago, I had several challenging cases, and just for me is when I finish a case and I talk to the family and I've set up the next case and talk with that family, just walking around the hospital with a bottle of water is usually how I kind of mentally decompress and prepare. And at the end of the day, it's spending time with my own kids and my wife. And while I do usually find some time to get out on the mountain bike trails and get my sweat on and get a little dirty, what I find the most nourishing and recharging is spending time with my family, and that's usually on the soccer sideline or at a gymnastics meet, or just helping them with their homework or their science projects. We've done so many paper mache projects this year that, I get my creative energy out.
Oh, love that. Those are, great tips. And walking is just so powerful. I think we need to do more of that. And that's one thing I do like about Halloween, is at least it gets the kids outside and walking and not, glued to a screen.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the most dangerous things it seems we can be doing is walking with our screens. I'm a bad habit of that, especially on Halloween this year when it's dark. Don't be staring down at your screen. Just look up, keep your eyes on the road, wear some reflective stuff, and be safe, of course.
Yeah, and that reminds me, when we talk about things like pool safety, we always encourage an adult to dedicate their eyes to the kids in the water. Yes. Don't look at the screen, but I think we can carry that over to this as well. So for the parents that are taking kids out, get your pictures in, get the cute pictures and all of that. And make sure you're actually focused on the experience with your kids for safety, but also because it's more meaningful when you're able to spend time with them and connect human to human.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a parent, you should dress up too. Get in the game, because I think that really helps engaging not only with your own kids, but the other kids in the neighborhood. And we also, when we talk about kids, we have to talk about older kids too. So 13 years old and over, and they may be going out trick-or-treating with their friends and without parents. And what I would say in that circumstance is, stay in large groups and make yourself visible as a large group, and make sure you have each other's phone numbers and your parents know exactly where you're at and where you're going. So I think for younger kids, yes, we need to be very vigilant as parents and as drivers in these communities. For our older kids that are getting a little bit more room and a little bit more independence, my recommendation for them is to stay in large groups, make sure your parents know where you're at and where you're going.
Fantastic. Well, Dr. Erik Pearson, thank you so much for joining us on A Healthier Tomorrow. I want to give you kind of like your last closing thought. What do you want to, if you had a billboard and you could just put, 10 words on it or something, what would you say?
I would say be responsible for your own health. Make your own decisions. I think that's what we all need to do, is we need to all be more responsible for our own health, make good, healthy decisions. And if I had a billboard, that's what I put on it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again for being here this morning. Ciara, what's going on in our community?
So many things. So to piggyback off Dr. Erik, we have Masterpiece Barbershop and Expertise Cosmetology and barber students are really encouraging us to walk around Nevada. From October 1st to November 12th, you and friends are able to walk and input your steps and your miles, or convert other activities into steps to track your progress. There is still time for you to sign up. So you must be a student or instructor at Masterpiece Barbershop, Expertise Barbershop, or Expertise Cosmetology School, and each team must have 5 members and leaders assigned, but it's something to be able to really dive in, and other people can join in as well. Are you an adult living with type 2 diabetes? If so, please, please, please join the Southern Nevada Health District and amazing partners as they really talk about how you can share your experiences and help improve your diabetes care in Southern Nevada. The focus group will be held in person at the Southern Nevada Health District on Wednesday, October 29th from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. And y'all, November Health Education Week is October 20th to 24th, 2025. This is really an opportunity for health educators that work within the community to continue to be celebrated as they develop and implement programs, connect people to resources, and advocate for policies, systems, and environmental changes that really make our environments healthier. So thank and shout out one of your amazing health educators that have supported you. So shout out to everyone at the Office of Chronic Disease Prevention and Health Promotion. Tomorrow, actually, y'all, Building Bridges to Health, HIV Health and Wellness Summit 2025 is focusing on youth and young adults. The future is now, y'all. It's tomorrow at the Center, Thursday, October 23rd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And when we think about it, there's plenty of things. We talk about this often. Think about what you're putting inside your bodies. The pop-up produce stands are still happening. The ones for October have passed, but look out for November 4th and 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the Bonneville Transit Center on 101 East Bonneville Avenue to be able to get your your produce as supplies last. You're able to use your SNAP and EBT card as well as cash and other opportunities. And did y'all know that October is Sudden Infant Death Syndrome Awareness Month? So y'all think about your babies, spread the word of how safe sleep for babies can really ease in. Reach out to the Southern Nevada Health District, check out their social media page to find out more information about resources and other events. And then last but not least, we have the Health District After Dark. They'll be diving into the state of Nevada's public health safety net. So check it out. It is Thursday, October 23rd from 4 to 6 p.m. This event is hybrid, so you can check it out online or in person, and you're able to find out more information on the Southern Nevada Health District website or social media pages.
Awesome. Thank you for keeping us informed. As we wrap up today's show, I want to leave you with a short story, a Halloween tale, if you will. There was once a child walking through a village on a Halloween night. No, I'm not going to do that dramatic. But the path was uneven and the houses were far apart. But the child had a small lantern to light the way. A few steps in, they came across another child without a lantern, struggling to find their footing. So the first child reached out and said, "Come walk with me. We'll share the light." Soon another child joined them, and then another. By the time they reached the edge of town, the light from one small lantern had guided a whole group safely through the dark without anyone ever falling. Sometimes prevention looks like vaccines or bike helmets. Sometimes it's CPR or knowing your history. But sometimes it's just being the one who holds the light and invites someone else to walk with you. So that's what this show is all about. And Ciara, it's always a pleasure to be with you. This has been A Healthier Tomorrow. I'm Will Rucker.
And I'm Ciara Owens.
And as we always remind you, you are not just a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. And what you do matters. So live compassionately and share the light. We'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.